We're always seeing people doing really cool shit with their cars, like drifting and drag racing, off-roading, and even jumping trucks. No, not like that, dude. I mean jumping trucks. You see, the thing is, projects like these take a lot of work, and oftentimes the money and time put into these projects are overlooked and not appreciated as much as they should be. Especially when you're converting from front-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive, and also swapping out the 4-cylinder that came in this Honda Prelude and putting a small block Chevy V8. Well, today we're putting more of that work in, and we're gonna be doing some welding, cutting, and grinding. So back to a lot of the work that I said that I've done on this car. Without getting into all of it, I had to cut out a whole bunch of stuff to make room for this rear axle because of the rear wheel drive conversion. That being said, there's a huge hole that goes right to the front of the car here, and that's not good. So the plan is to make a plan. I think starting with the main piece first will be the best, and that's going from this edge of the trunk pin here to the support that I've put in, and basically filling all this in, and then we can focus on the rest of it from the inside of the car. Now, in order to go from this edge here to the support that I've made, we're gonna have like a weird contour to try to match. And I'm wondering if you've seen my previous videos on how I've dealt with this before, whether or not you know what I'm gonna do. If you've watched my videos in the past, you know I got a really weird way to do it, and it looks interesting and strange, but I swear it works, so just trust the process. It was the same method that I used to match the contour back here, and that is using this contraption. Now basically what it is you know when you got cardboard, you got all these little slots in here, I don't know what you call them, but I took all these little wooden skewers, what do you want to call these, Sue? Remind me to freshen up on my vocabulary after this video. But essentially what you do is you take this, and when you press it up against something, it'll press in all the different ones and it'll take shape of whatever you are trying to figure out. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So basically, like I said, all you got to do is take this, and then I'm gonna place it roughly right there, and then all I do is I start to press it in place, and you can see the ones that get pressed in, it starts to take shape of the body of the car. All right guys, then we bring it over to the piece of metal that we're gonna cut. Disregard these, I'm just gonna cut this straight so that I have a straight edge all the way down. But then I take the piece, I always start with the furthest one out to the edge so that I'm cutting the least amount of material. And then we start to trace it with paint. Now I put a little bit of too much paint here, but that's okay. But you can see the bottom edge, obviously the top edge is gonna be this line here. And then this is roughly the little contour that I need to match and cut that out. So basically all I gotta do is do that on both sides, measure the distance and the length from here to there, transcribe it over to that metal, and then we chop it up and hopefully it fits. All right, so off camera, I did a lot of trimming, and then I finally got this to sit pretty nice in the area that I want it to be. There's a few gaps that I'm not too happy with, but you know what? This isn't structural. This is mainly to separate the trunk from the inside of the car, but I'm pretty happy with it. The next thing I did was I used my paint marker to mark all around the perimeter of this new piece so that I can know where to grind so I can expose the bare metal for my welding. And for those who don't know, welding relies on conductivity, so paint will actually not allow you to have a good connection. So now that we're on the inside of the car, there's two more pieces that I need to make. You can see the piece that we just made right here. It connects on the other side of the support. And then to close it off, I'm gonna make a flat piece that goes up to here, and it's gonna cover this whole area. And then I've already made the template for this cardboard piece, and that's gonna go right here to seal it all off. So essentially we're gonna have an L like this, and we should be good. All right, so I went ahead and made those pieces so I didn't have to waste your guys' time. But trust me that this fits, it's just hard to do it with one hand. But I got the piece that goes flat from the support to the front edge. It'll stop at this edge here. And then I got this piece here that fits right about there. So I started by using my angle grinder with a grinding disc to clean off all the edges from when I cut these pieces. Once that was done, I went around all the edges with some weld through primer, the one I was talking about before. Then went over the rest of the pieces with some regular primer just to protect the metal. And now we're ready to start welding, so let's go get the welder. All right, let's start welding. Oh man, it's a hot day for welding. But regardless, we got the main parts of this done. I'm gonna go around later and start welding it solid to clear up all these gaps and stuff like that. But for now, I have the structure done. It doesn't matter a whole lot anyway, because when I go to put the back seats back in, it will also help close off the trunk from the inside of the car, but I wanted to do this anyway. Now, the nice thing about what I did today was I originally cut out a whole bunch of stuff, like I said, because we made this a rear-wheel drive Prelude, and there was a big part of the frame that had to go. So essentially, without doing some proper engineering, I did get rid of a lot of the strength in the back of the car, but adding the supports that I did, plus doing all this welding, should add some strength back into the car, roughly in the same spot that we removed that frame. Also guys, I'm not the greatest welder, as you can see. I'm not the greatest at anything, but that's the point. The point is that anything is possible. I may not want to bring this car to any fancy car shows and show off all my detailed work, but at the end of the day, I'm still able to build a rear-wheel drive V8 Prelude on my own. This is a lot of hard work, but we are crushing goals every single week. Now that that partition is done, I can start running my fuel lines and my wires for the battery, and we are getting close to where we want to be. Now, before I let you guys go to my channel and binge watch the rest of my videos, I want to bring you back to the office. This is where I plan out and edit all my videos. Here's a quick little tour. It's very messy right now, but I used to start every video in this office, and something that came to my attention. It's only been a few weeks since I've made those videos where I started in this office, and I used to track my subscriber count every single week and show you guys the update. The last time we were in here, we had 5,200 subs, and now we're at 6,200 subs. So pretty much in about a month, 1,000 of you guys have joined the channel, so thank you. Now all you gotta do is take this video and share it with your friends and help me get to 10K subs. Thank you guys for the ongoing support, and if you missed this video before, go check it out now.